In 1995, a number of our area leaders had the great privilege of establishing the Bowling Green Warren County Community Foundation. The inspiration that led those of us as founders was the need we saw for a platform in which people of the community could leave legacies. As we saw it, their creation of permanent endowment funds would continue to give forever. Today, some 17 years later, this entity has grown to become the Community Foundation of South Central Kentucky, though its mission remains the same: to encourage philanthropic giving for positive impact upon our communities for now and generations to come. In order to build, promote, and better encourage this mission, the Foundation has created an annual award to be presented to one distinguished member of our community whose life matches these same goals of service, impact, and overall commitment to our area. This represents the essence of the South Central Kentuckian of the Year.
If you did not know Jerry, you would have no idea who he was or what he did.
He wasn't after being a focal point of attention, publicity. He was very gentle and kind. Without, I suspect as well, he felt blessed and believed he should be a blessing to others, the community.
Quiet, strength, prudence, and wisdom. Jerry had the qualities that I wish every WKU student would, if they don't have, would learn, and if they were fortunate enough to do so, would be most successful.
He was a great businessman. I was very fortunate. I tell people I graduated from Western, but I really went to the Jerry E. Baker University. He was always helpful to the people. He would, if they were down, he would try to pick them up.
To go out to the Arboretum and walk around the beautiful grounds there, or to go to the Downey Museum and just take in the beautiful artwork. To me, he was very generous, but he also loved beautiful things, not in a superficial way, but in a way that I think art has a real power in our lives, and he brought that to Bowling Green.
Arboretum is a place where you have a collection of trees and shrubs. They're usually there for viewing or for educational purposes.
Jerry's business was air gas, and my business was located just down the street. So the proximity of our two businesses was perhaps what began the relationship, and we got to know each other many years ago by attending social events together.
He gave to everything that he thought would help the community he lived in. That's the type of person he was. I guess you would say a perfectionist. When he took on a task, it was going to be done perfectly. And that's sort of who Jerry Baker was.
I had an opportunity to buy a little additional land, another acre, and it gave me a little more room to expand, and then I was looking, what am I going to do with it? And I knew I wanted to do this fountain someplace, so that was sort of the catalyst to get it started. I still wasn't thinking in terms of an arboretum, I was just thinking of having a larger garden space.
It's really neat, not just to think about how he invested in maybe places here, but in people here who have turned out to be just incredible artists. I think Jerry's willingness to invest in artists gave them the possibility and the belief that they could do this as a career. And I think that's so important, because it's hard to be an artist. I'm married to one, so I know that it's not easy to make it as an artist, and I'm so grateful that he invested in so many artists here in this community.
Well, I started a private foundation in 1991 with the purpose of having an arboretum for educational purposes and for the public. I think Western Kentucky University is the best vehicle that I could use to accomplish the goals of having it used for educational purposes and for the public also.
It's sort of like taking your special creation child and turning it over eventually to somebody else, isn't it? And I promise you, we will be good stewards. We will love it as you have loved it. And we will make your dream keep on living long after all of us are no longer here today.
When we were conducting our first capital campaign, Jerry was there in a significant way, multi-million-dollar way, to help ensure that that campaign would be successful. And yet he, in his own quiet, modest manner, didn't want a lot of attention to that. We kind of had to talk him into announcing his gift because it was a significant gift at the time, the largest gift to a public university in Kentucky at the time.
He gave a tremendous gift to Western that most people are aware of with respect to the facility out on Morgantown Road. And even then, they had a big press conference at his house, and Gary Ransdell, who can pretty well sell ice to Eskimos, had a hard time convincing Jerry to even allow them to come interview him about the gift.
But those assets will forever be a treasure in this community. The home, the gardens, the arboretum, the museum will forever be something that people in this community and across the Southeast and beyond will enjoy, and their lives will be richer for it.
I want to develop it to a point where it can be independent after I'm gone, and it would be open to the public. Also, some kind of a partnership with Western would be desirable.
I think that he embodies, the award just because of the way he was in the world, that he was so generous, but he never wanted any credit for it.
For everything he achieved and for his wonderful reputation, he was a very wonderful, decent human being. I'm delighted that the foundation has recognized Jerry today. It's most deserved.
Such a gentleman. If you look the word gentleman up in the dictionary, I gotta believe there's a picture of Jerry Baker there. Soft-spoken, kind, modest, and generous. And he will always hold a very special place in my heart and in Julie's heart. And I expect everybody in this community who is fortunate enough to know him.
It is nice to come here. I'm about 7 or 8 minutes from work, but I feel like I'm in another world. It is so quiet. It's far enough off the highway, and because it's up on a cliff, you don't get so much of the noise. And it's very peaceful. You can meditate, or you can think about what you're going to do tomorrow, or what you did yesterday, or you can dream. I like the views from the hill. You can see Western, of course, from here. You can have a very stressful day and come home and wander around and enjoy some of the beautiful nature that's around you. And then you can't feel bad, or you can't feel stressed. You have to feel better.